Welcome back to part 2 of 3 or 4, or just part 2, I don't know at this point. Maybe you watched part 1. I had a problem with the Yamaha leaking oil out of the reservoir, so I decided for the little float switch, just to explain if you weren't watching part 1, that over the years, and I don't know if this is 1 year or 10 years old because I just bought the little scooter, the hardness of the rubber, shall we say, is to a point where it easily slips in and out of the little filler hole, sorry, not the filler hole, the sensor hole, I should say, where this goes. So my thought was to get a piece of heat shrink. I got this from Ideal Supply here in Ontario, and I'm going to proceed to do this. I got my little handy dandy heat gun. Don't use this as a hairdryer, you'll end up with no hair like me. Plus the fact, I'm sure a lot of you know, this is hot, so basically just gently heat this up, gently Bentley, we're no hurry here. The biggest thing is we want to make sure that we do even heat. No idea this is going to work, no idea at all. Me being the himey-limey, saved myself $25. Actually, that's not the reason I'm doing it. I just had some of this heat shrink laying around. I thought we'd give it a whirl. The next size down was actually too small to get over this plunger. This size is a little bit too big because this is not going down, so I may have to put a couple of tie wraps down here to stop the oil from getting up there. Not that it makes any difference, but see, even with the heat right on here, it's not going down anymore. I mean, this heat shrink tubing is very good, but it's limited to how much it can go down. I think it's normally half its original diameter, but that, as you can see, that's hot, surprisingly hot. It's not going to interfere with this. Actually, what I could do is get a little knife and just trim this down. Actually, I could just trim it to the bottom of the rubber. There's no reason to have this, actually, now that I think about it. Ow, that's hot. Another couple of things, just while I'm here looking at the camera. I don't know, as I say, I'm not a cameraman. I just wanted to see if anyone can see this. Wow, this seems weird, me looking through the lens here, but you see this little tiny slit? On eBay, there's a couple of people, which there's nothing wrong with it, I'm sure, selling these from used Yamaha 2008s, 2009s. I don't know, I would imagine, you know, this hasn't changed in a number of years, because it's, you know, it does for 2005 even, or 2012, I have no idea. But he did mention that this one was on sale. I think it was $10 instead of $20 because it had a small tear in the rubber. Well, I've never seen one of these in my life, and I took it out of my tank and mine has the same tear, but I would imagine it's not a tear, it's obviously just a relief cut where the wires protrude into the little head of this unit. So I just thought I'd share that. If you see yours, it's torn, it's not. It's actually, as I say, it's probably when they manufactured it, they just slit that just to so it's not pushing down on the wire, I would imagine. But yeah, that's still pretty warm. So I am now going to grab the camera, and you will be the first lot to see me put this into the tank, and we'll see how much of a snug fit this is. So just bear with me here. I haven't actually tried this. This is all live TV, folks. And again, I apologise for the crappy camera work, but I'm just going to turn that like that. Maybe I'll zoom in. what I should have done is taken the tank off the bike. Okay, here we go. I should have taken the tank off the bike and put it on the table so you could have seen. But let's see. And if this doesn't work, by the way, I probably won't put this on YouTube because I'll make a fool of myself. But anyway, here goes. Wow. I don't even want to push that in because I think that's going to be a nice snug fit. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the other one with my on the video number 1. I could just push that in with my finger. It basically fell in. But now there is some, I don't know if you can see, there's some barbs on the actual existing rubber, similar to a barbs on a hose line, or you put a hose on for a garden hose. I can see this, but you can't. I'm getting up to about the first one, and then it doesn't want to go. Now I'm sure that I could push that. Wow. I don't know if I'd want to push that in. So to answer my own question, if I got that in there, I don't know if I was going to get it out ever. I don't know. I guess with a little bit of lubrication, a little bit of silicone grease, actually, just ponder that thought. Hold on, I'm going to go and get some. Hold on. Okay, I actually couldn't find any, so what I did, I got a bit of 2-stroke oil, and just for testing purposes, I'll just run that around my heat shrink. And we'll give it a whirl. I must have dumped half a pint of oil when I started it up. I can still see the stain. I think it's killed the grass. Oh well. Here we go with a little bit of lube. Wow, that is a very nice, snug, tight fit. So I don't want to commit to put it in right now, but I'm quietly confident enough to put all this bike back together that that little bit of heat shrink tubing is the cheapest, quickest way. And the reason I say the cheapest and the quickest is because to buy another switch, I would imagine, I've seen them on different websites, and it's awfully confusing here in Ontario. Sometimes you don't know if it's Canadian price or American price. Chances are it's American, so therefore, with the way our dollar is, if it says $15, it's probably 20 here, and then they got to ship it, so it's another 5. So you know, a $14-13 part ends up being $25 by the time you get it through the front door. The heat shrink tubing, you know, $5. I normally have a lot of this laying around. I am actually in the trade, but I'm certainly not a scooter mechanic. But I normally have a lot of this in my little tool box, but I just happened to didn't have this size, so I went and bought one. But it was, I think it was $4.80. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to stop rambling on, and the next video will be putting it all back together, and I will certainly share with you when I fill it with oil whether it leaks. Okay, hopefully video 3 coming up.